and welcome to your IQ test. I'm Baby ASMR and I'll be administering this to you today. So just a few preliminary things. How have you been cognitively since our last IQ test? Okay, and any differences in your attention, anything like that? Okay. And do you have any trouble focusing for long periods of time? And how long would you say? Okay. And would you consider yourself a creative or logical person? Or somewhere in the middle? And would you consider yourself a math science brain or a more like English reading brain, writing? Okay, and how have your, emotions been recently? Okay. And do you feel like you have a set personality or does it kind of change? So, as with the last IQ test, some of these questions will not have a right or wrong answer, and they're a little bit more personality based, just for me to kind of psychologically analyze and get a gauge of how your brain is functioning, okay? Alright, so the first one is going to be a math one, so apologize if that's not your strong suit. But we have if a triangle plus a triangle plus a triangle equals 9, and a circle plus a circle plus a circle equals 12, and a triangle plus a square equals 15, then what does a triangle plus a circle plus a square equal? Okay, so I'll give you a second to look at this. Okay, and would you like to know the answer? Okay, so this would be 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. Then we would have 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. And we know this is 3. So it'd be 3 plus 6 plus 6 is 15. So then it'd be 3 plus 4 plus 6 is 13. Okay. So the next test in psychology, we call it a Stroop test. So I'm going to show you a series of words that refer to color, but I want you to listen to my instruction on whether to tell me the color of the font of the word itself or what the word actually reads, okay? So, could you go ahead and read these to me and what the word actually says, okay? So, very good. Now when I point to one, I want you to just tell me the color of the word itself, not what it says, okay? Good? Good. Okay. Okay. Now, I I just want you to tell me what you would put in the blank space. So if I have keys and purse or wallet, what would you fill in that blank? And if I had ketchup and mustard, what would you put in that blank? Okay. So next I'm going to ask you a series of questions about these emojis. So which emoji of these three would you use to laugh in a text? Would you do the classic laughing emoji, the crying emoji, or the skull emoji? And which heart would you use for just your normal heart that you send to someone? The red heart, the pink heart, or the black heart? What would you be more likely to use if you're to put a heart in a text message? And which of these kind of unique emojis would you be more likely to use? The angel, the heart face, or the cowboy? And which flower would you be more likely to use? The rose, the sunflower, or the tulip? Okay. Now, out of these fonts, which would you be most drawn to? So this one is called Tattoo Studio. This one's called Plush Pen. This one's called Golden Hour. This is called Sweet. This is called Let's Get Groovy. And this is called Authentic Leather Blue Wood. So which one are you most drawn to? Okay. Right, now I've divided these into pairs, so I'd like you to really try and memorize the pairs, because I'm going to ask you, without you looking at it, what word went with the pair. So we have album and head. We have, so just take a moment to memorize that. Album and head. Next we have airport and universe. So take a moment. Next we have weather and baseball. Weather and baseball. And next we have circle, boss. Circle, boss. Okay, moving to the side, we have chair, accident. Then we have choice, panel, choice, panel. World, innovation, world, innovation. And worker, feeling, worker, feeling. Okay. And go ahead and count to 10 for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. And count backwards from 10 for me. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. What was the word that went with circle? Circle. And what was the word that went with world? What was the word that went with worker? What was the word that went with choice? What was the word that went with chair? What was the word that went with album? What was the word that went with weather? What was the word that went with airport? Good. So it was circle boss, world innovation, worker feeling, chair accident, choice panel, album head, weather baseball, and airport universe. All right, this next part of the test, I'm going to ask you to finish the pattern. So, this first one we have red, green, yellow, red, green. Good. Then we have blue, purple, purple, blue. Good. And then we have black, orange, black, orange. Then we have blue, yellow, pink, blue, yellow. Then we have green, yellow, green, pink, green, yellow. Very nice. Okay, and like the last IQ test, this one is going to be, what is the odd one out? What is the odd one out? So we have books, ruler, globe, and skis. The skis, very nice. And we have ghost, bat, Christmas tree, and pumpkin. The tree, very good. Then we have sunflower, fish, boat, and pole. The flower, very nice. And finally, what would you fill in the gap with? Dog, cat, dog, cat. Okay. Very nice job on this part of your IQ test. And can I just get your first and last name to send the results? And the email. And a phone number. Perfect. And would you like to put an emergency contact in case these results don't get to you? Perfect. Thank you so much for coming in today, and I'll see you next time.